Okay, let's get into it. There was this one moment that, I mean, it really just transcended sports. A single interaction that completely blew up on social media.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
We're talking about the Dodgers star, Freddie Freeman, and his 7-year-old son, Charlie. And you have to imagine, here's a kid who's literally growing up in a major league clubhouse. He's surrounded by heroes every single day.
Right.
And yet when one specific player walked by, Charlie Freeman, he just completely froze.
Yeah.
Starstruck.
Yeah.
And that player, of course, was Shohei Ohtani.
It's the perfect snapshot, isn't it? And what's so fascinating here is that this one tiny interaction, it was so much more than just a viral clip. The source material we're looking at today, which is mostly this really detailed YouTube transcript, it shows us that this was a window into like a massive organizational shift.
Okay, so that's our mission for this deep dive.
Exactly. We're going to look past the huge, history-making stats Ohtani puts up and really analyze how this one exchange illustrates, well, this whole modern idea of quiet leadership.
The unmeasurable stuff.
The unmeasurable stuff, the profound impact he has on team culture, and honestly, maybe even on how we define what a hero is in sport.
And that's the core of it, right?
Yeah.
You have a kid whose dad is an MVP, a World Series champ, an all-star every year, and yet our source says Charlie actually admitted his hero surpassed his father.
Which is just a huge thing for a 7-year-old to say.
It's huge. So what does that tell us about influence?
Yeah.
What really makes a hero today, and why should you, the listener who maybe isn't a huge baseball fan, even care? We're going to find out.
Okay, so to really feel the weight of this moment, we have to set the scene.
Let's do it.
It's before a game in Los Angeles. Charlie Freeman is right there, front row, near the dugout, and he's clearly nervous, just staring at the batting cage.
And in his hands?
He's clutching a baseball. But not just any ball. The source says it was actually engraved with Dodgers number 17, Ohtani's number. He came prepared.
It's that look of just pure, unadulterated awe. I mean, when the cameras caught him, everyone recognized that feeling.
Oh, yeah.
And Freddie Freeman, his dad, he sees his son is in the spotlight, and he handles it with so much humor. He just calls out laughing, looks like it's all show.
But Charlie can't even respond.
Not a word. The source says he just looked down, all shy, pressing that ball against his chest. He was just too overwhelmed to even talk to his own dad.
And that little moment, the dad laughing it off, the son's shyness, it immediately it softened the whole atmosphere, became this really heartwarming human story that kind of lifted the mood in the clubhouse before anything else even happened.
A positive emotional cue for the whole organization.
Exactly. Which brings us to the actual interaction. This is where you see Ohtani's unique leadership style really come into focus.
Because he didn't do a big flashy camera-ready moment. He didn't yell over the railing or anything.
Not at all. He quietly walked right up to the front row, right to where Charlie was sitting, and he crouched down, got on the boys' level, made eye contact, and gave that really gentle smile of his.
The detail from the source here is what gets me.
What was that?
He didn't talk about baseball? Not really. He didn't talk about home runs. He asked Charlie a question that showed respect for the kid's own journey. He said, "Are you working hard at practice?"
Such a simple question. But the impact was seismic.
Absolutely. The people watching said Charlie's whole expression just completely changed in that instant.
The shyness was gone.
Gone. Replaced by this huge smile of pure joy and surprise. It was validation. His hero saw his effort, not just his fandom.
Even Freddie, watching from a distance, reportedly gave this kind of embarrassed but really proud shrug. He knew his son had just been completely captivated
by a very powerful but very quiet force.
And then Ohtani just sealed the deal with this incredible gift. He signed the bat he was holding.
The actual bat.
The actual bat. And he handed it over and told Charlie to use this when you grow up.
Wow. I mean, think about the symbolism there. That's not just a souvenir. It's a promise.
Yeah.
Right? An initiation.
Totally. And Charlie reportedly just hugged the bat, nodded over and over, and said, "When I grow up, I'm going to be like Show."
And Freeman, being the great dad and teammate, he just brings it right back to the team. He pats his son's head and says, "Then let's play together on the Dodgers someday."
This is the moment. This is where that personal anecdote really connects to the bigger culture. A team staff member who was watching said later that the air in the ballpark completely changed in that one instant.
So it wasn't just Charlie.
No, it rippled out. That one quiet, sincere act spread this feeling of connection through the whole stadium.
So, okay, after the game, Freeman obviously gets swarmed by reporters.
Of course.
And this is where the source material gets into his kind of mixed feelings. He admitted his son watches Ohtani's videos every single day. And he said, honestly, I get a little jealous, but at the same time, it makes me happy.
What a great quote. It's that mix of fatherly pride, but also this deep professional respect for a teammate.
And the reporters loved it. They were laughing and agreeing
Yeah.
that the whole Dodgers clubhouse really feels like a family.
And that family feeling, according to their manager, Dave Roberts, is actually foundational to their success.
Right. Robert saw the whole thing and said, this is a team that truly values family time, and that's where their unity comes from.
And he made it very clear this isn't an accident. He said, Shohei Ohtani stands right at the heart of it all. He's the silent anchor.
Okay, let me just play devil's advocate for a second here.
Go for it.
This whole quiet leadership thing, does it only work because Ohtani is already, the best player in the world? If some bench player was just quietly eating with a rookie, would we be calling it profound? Or just a quiet guy being quiet?
That's the essential question, and the source material actually addresses it. It suggests the atmosphere around Ohtani's locker isn't secure because he's a superstar. It's secure because the feeling itself is, and I'm quoting, unrelated to wins or stats.
So it's about psychological safety.
Exactly. The players know they can go there, and the focus isn't on performance metrics. It's on just camaraderie. The influence comes first, and the on-field success just validates it.
It's fascinating how his teammates see it, too. Like Mookie Betts, another huge star.
Yeah.
He put it perfectly. He said, Sho leads the team more with his actions than with words. When he's quiet, everyone naturally settles down.
And Freeman totally agreed with that. He said, Sho doesn't just influence kids, he affects us adults too. And the sources get into how he consciously keeps that influence going, especially when the cameras aren't around.
Right, like his commitment to putting the team first. I was struck by the detail about when they're on the road. When a lot of guys would keep to themselves, Ohtani makes it a point to eat with the younger players. And they talk about stuff beyond just the game. He's investing in them as people.
Absolutely. That is not for show. The source stresses this behavior is never flashy, but it's the kind of behavior that quietly moves people's hearts.
It's the glue, the organizational cement that you can't get from just being professional colleagues.
It shows he's committed to the whole team, not just the guys in the starting lineup.
So, manager Dave Roberts kind of summed it all up. He said Ohtani didn't just change the game with his performance. He fundamentally changed the team's culture.
And here's the kicker.
What's that?
He said his biggest impact shows up in the places you can't measure with numbers, which is just a massive statement in a sport and a business world that is obsessed with data.
We're talking about a competitive advantage that comes from sincerity.
Sincerity. And if you connect that to the bigger picture, you see this really interesting shift in what defines a hero for, younger generations. A few days after the Charlie Freeman thing, Japanese media ran a feature on it, and they got right to the point. They said kids aren't just drawn to a superstar's home runs. They're drawn to his kindness as a human being.
It's about something that goes beyond wins and losses.
Exactly. What they captured in that photo of Charlie and Ohtani was a genuine connection.
So that signed bat Charlie was holding, it represents so much more.
Yeah. So much more. It's the whole value system of the person who gave it to him. It's effort, integrity, genuine care for other people. The source is clear. All of that is embodied by number 17.
And it's built on these small, repeated actions. The source talks about how during breaks, he's always taking photos with teammates' families. He calls people by name.
Consistent, small things that just soften the whole environment.
Mookie Betts had a similar story, didn't he? About his own son.
Yeah, his son also wanted number 17. And Betts said he loved that because it showed his son was feeling the magic of baseball from the heart. It wasn't about celebrity, it was an authentic connection to a role model.
And this extends beyond just the players and their families.
Way beyond. The source details how he connects with stadium staff, the people who often go unnoticed, and with local youth teams. You see him straighten the cap of a young kid, or tell a girl asking for an autograph, keep up with your studies too.
It's not a performance. He's just living his values moment to moment.
Right, and that leads to this huge implication for the entire competitive landscape.
The influence on opponents.
The influence on opponents. The source suggests his behavior is a silent example, even to the young players on the other team's bench. He's setting a standard.
It forces them to look inward.
Exactly. Can you show that same respect even when you lose? Can you acknowledge their effort even when you're frustrated? By always acting with integrity, he kind of He normalizes that behavior.
He creates a gravitational pull toward better conduct.
A great way to put it. And the source argues that this behavior will eventually become the normal that this generation of players passes on to the next one. That's a legacy.
The ultimate takeaway from all this, then, is a massive redefinition of what success even looks like. The source flat out says Ohtani may be the first to define a hero not by power, but by compassion.
And that his way of life, built on kindness, lasts far beyond records, because it actually affects the character of the people around him.
It's like when you look at his success, you see the stats. But when you look at the culture around him, you see the compassion.
We've gone from a world obsessed with measuring output to maybe realizing that true long-term stability comes from the input, the integrity, the human connection.
So bringing this back to us, outside of baseball, the story of Ohtani and Charlie Freeman is more than just a sweet moment. It's a blueprint.
A template for leadership.
Yeah, leadership defined by sincerity, by integrity, and by being the one who's willing to reach out first. It shows how one person can completely shift the culture of a hyper-competitive place just by focusing on the human element.
And if we go back to what Manager Roberts said, that Ohtani's biggest impact is where you can't measure it with numbers, that leaves us with a real challenge. A final thought for you to consider.
Okay.
In any competitive environment, business, sports, your daily life, if the real foundational strength comes from kindness and trust, what truly effective forms of leadership are you ignoring? Or what are you failing to reward?
Because it doesn't have a clear metric.
Because it doesn't have a clear metric. Are we all so focused on the quarterly reports and the quantifiable wins that we just completely miss the profound impact of that colleague who is quietly boosting morale, building trust, and modeling integrity, just by being a decent human being?
Think about that quiet power and how you measure it. Thank you for joining us for the deep dive.
We'll see you next time.